Hello, Waylighting Capricorns. I am here with a reading to do with the end of July and the beginning of August. So for you, the financial house of the second house and the financial house of the eighth house, this is going to be a conversation that for the next 18 months is going to be aspected. And those South Node gifts with Jupiter in the South Node are really going to be amplified. So let's see now what Source wants to share with us about where you are and how you are entering this conversation with Barbo's Basket, and also how you're entering the month. There's also an eclipse this month that's going to be in Leo, and so it may be that something that you thought was going to work out from the past doesn't, or that vice versa, that it suddenly comes back into your life in an unexpected way, whether you're having a conversation and someone says they need it and you can do it, or whether it's just that you suddenly need it and it's going to be there for you because that's something that is yours, that you bring. I don't know, but it will come through to you. And I've just been told that I just skipped past, so we'll take these four cards, and to set us out for today. Okay, so the first card is Gaia. The second card is advancement. The third card is stillness. And the fourth card is free spirit. So um, you are an earth sign, and whatever is coming up for you is going to feel very grounded. So we have here the Gaia card. And it says, connect to the pulse of Mother Earth. She will guide you through this time of change. So there is change on the horizon, as we just talked about. It is an advancement. So that's exciting. It's not change where you're going to have to figure out survival mode. This is an advancement. This is progress. So even if it feels to you as though it is a step back in this moment, it might just be so that you can step into the new stream. So don't worry about that. You can be still. You can rest in this stream that has suddenly opened up to you again. It may be a stream of information. It may be, with the Gaia card coming out first, it could be a literal stream where maybe you go and you stand and you get downloads in that space. As the water clears the soles of your feet, which are connected with the soul, as far as in a spiritual sense, symbolically, those two are connected, and it's our connection to Mother Earth as well. Maybe that's how you get ideas. And if you can't get to a stream right now, a shower, or dunk your feet in an Epsom salt bath, but that may assist you in resting. But that resting is really important. It says, reflect on this moment with love, kindness, and compassion. So resist that desire to be critical of yourself or to be critical of life and say like, oh gosh, haven't I been here enough recently? Do I have to go through this again? You are not a sign that loves change a great deal. You are instead a sign that helps hold the structure, because you are ruled by Saturn. And Saturn is great at structuring things. And so, as far as change goes that's within your control, you're terrific. You actually help other people make that kind of change. You yourself are not terrific at it when it comes externally. And so, just understand that you do have choices. You have choices right now. You have choices to make. I can feel my breath squeezing a little bit. I can feel my belly clenching a little bit. I understand completely that that is the normal way of thinking about it. But what would happen if you just said, I'm going to allow my worries to go down the drain or to be swept away from me as the water rolls past my feet? Okay, there you go, free spirit. You would feel more free. You would feel that you are a more free spirit. And in that, you are trusting that Source will carry you where you need to go. Let's go back to the water metaphor, although I know you're not a water sign. I do get that. But if you can allow yourself to believe that you will wash up on the shore where you need to be, that Source has your back, um, trust in that stillness, and know that the stillness is actually where you need to be listening right now. You're not just taking care of yourself in this, and not just taking care of your family. There's something here that you're being asked to shift, because in the future it's actually going to be more stable. I know that sounds really odd, but whatever the change is, whatever the shift is, um, I'm having this sense of putting down roots again. So this will not be a perpetual change that you have to do. You're being moved to something new. Now, the eighth house is also the house of secrets. And so you may be finding that you're revisiting a secret, maybe something that you've kept to yourself, maybe another person's secret that you feel like that you have kept for a long time and it's costing some energy. So that is something for you to consider with Source. But, turning that over, not having to carry that anymore, just giving it up to whatever energy you work with, to your angels, to spirit, to God, to the universe, and possibly to the other person, depending on what that is. And just saying, this isn't mine to carry anymore. I'm going to stay in stillness with what is mine to carry. And I'm going to be a freer spirit for having done that, for having put down that burden. So let's see what this says. It just came out. Yeah, 5 of coins. So part of this is that you have felt exiled. You have felt left out in the cold. Um, it's really, I'm just feeling like it's a pull. I'm feeling the energy go through me as though that is a drain. So let's see what else Source has to add to this. Spirit, what do you want to add to this, please, for our Capricorn Waylighters? Very thoughtful. I can feel your energy, which is always very thoughtful, coming through, which is why I pause a little bit more than sometimes I do. Lots of cards coming out. All right. Okay, so you have some primary cards, and then you have some cards of clarification. I'm going to start with the primary cards, and then we will talk through the clarifications that have come through. So you have the 5 of coins that we just talked about. You have the 6 of coins, the High Priestess, and the Ruler or King of Wands. So beautiful direction that you're going in. Just want to say that right off the bat. Okay, with all that fire energy, I'm not surprised to see the King of Wands come out. So you're starting off with feeling like you are left out. You're left out in the cold in some way. And this has to do with reciprocity. So the 6 of coins is about, can be about who do you give to and who do you take from, or who do you not give to. And that is really it's a little bit of the energy of what we were just talking about, of parsing through what is yours to carry and what is not yours to carry. But in some way, you feel as though you have given of yourself or your time or something that is yours, and you have not received that in reciprocity. Maybe it's respect, maybe it's money, because we've been talking about the financial 2 houses that are aspected for you right now. But in some way, this circle has not been completed because of the 5 of coins. However, the High Priestess is here, and you've really been understanding that you've been using this as a time to go within, to understand that there is a deeper meaning here. There is something to be learned and gaining inspiration from it. So the High Priestess energy is one of introspection and looking into the mysteries. It's considering the symbolic element of life, and you've been understanding that this reciprocity loop that you're in, where you feel as though you give out more than you take in, or conversely, you may feel as though others are giving to you and that you don't have enough to give out. In fact, I'm getting a yes on this. So there may be some of you who feel as though you're always having to take help and that you're not actually able to then turn around and give back again in the way that you would want to, whether that is because you have physical limitations, whether you have financial limitations to the point of what we've been talking about. Whatever this is, or energy or focus, it may just be the situation that you're in life right now. In some way, there is not a balance, a perfect balance in that reciprocity. Please go back to that stillness. Go back to that stillness and know that it is important to have reciprocity, especially when you feel as though what you're giving out is coming back again. And yet, sometimes I think that we ourselves are creating that. We're either pushing too hard to give, because that is safe for us. We don't want to know if we're going to be left out in the cold. So we just anticipate that we will be, and we just say it's only about the giving. And it's not only about the giving. I'm going to kind of go against the spiritual wisdom often that says that it will come back to you. It absolutely will. Not disagreeing with that. And you should be able to expect, at least in relationships and financially, that it does. And if it doesn't, that's actually a mirror of a wound inside of you that is up for healing. That is always the intention of a focus astrologically, is for us to have a chance to grow and to heal. And so with these two houses aspected, in some way, what is going out and what is coming back in is out of balance. It's okay. It's really okay. I just, instead of pushing and saying, you need to fix that, you need to change that block, you need to push harder, you can do this, you can make anything you want. Can I just say to you, just rest right now. Rest and trust that when the time is right, you will be inspired and you'll be given the energy like the King of Wands, the Sage of Wands in this deck. You will be given that. The High Priestess will take you to the point where you can receive what you need to then be able to give, and you will be able to give so that you then receive back again. It doesn't have to be perfect in any one moment. I'm really feeling such emotion right now. So I know that this is striking a chord in some of you, but I just would say it's important to have spaces of rest in life. And this is one of the things that you're being asked to do. You're really feeling as though this Five of Coins, this being left out in the cold, has caused you tremendous heartache, has caused you, you can see the swords in this heart right now, and the woman who is crying. So this is not something that has been light. Whatever it is has been really heartfelt, whether it strikes to your identity or an important relationship or the way that you show up in life. Just know that part of the reciprocity that will be offered in the larger sense, in the larger term here, is about you feeling good about being in the world. Your suffering, your heartache, your tears are not required in order to earn that. I want to say that. I just have to say it because I'm hearing it echoing in my head. So apparently it wants to be said again. Your suffering is not required to learn the lesson. It doesn't help you learn the lesson anymore. Now, I'm not talking about not expressing, I'm not saying don't express your genuine emotion. That's authentic. But if you express it, then you will move through it. And if you're not moving through it, then ask yourself what it is that's important to you about staying in it in the moment. And wow, okay, so to the point, as always, clarifying the Six of Coins, you have the moon. And I love this image in this deck because she is looking into a mirror. She is looking in her shadow, and I have to cover this up, but she is looking at her shadow. And this is the shadow that you're being asked to really sit with. And I'm going to say sit with because I don't want to use the word examine in this case, because examine makes us think of like the mental exercise of it. Now, Capricorns, you guys are really smart. You have a lot of knowledge, you have a lot of wisdom that you've gained in that. And I'm not saying not to use that. But I am saying go back to that still point, go back to that flow of water and know that it has its own wisdom. Trust the High Priestess to bring you to that point again. With the High Priestess, just to make that point, that kind of deep introspection is going to benefit you in the 3D realm, in the earthly realm as well, because you drew the Emperor here. Now, these are in some ways diametrically opposed energies, and I love them for that. I love them for that because talk about reciprocity. I mean, we have kind of, other than the Hermit, we have with the High Priestess, the, you know, a strong archetype and energy here for going within to the sacred mystery. And we have the ultimate organizer of not just a kingdom, but the world here, making whole ecosystems. And they are called to work together in this. And I love this. I have like goosebumps with the ruler of wands, with the king of wands, that inspired leadership and energy. The clarifying the clarifying card is the 10 of cups. Your true soul journey, your heart wish granted. The thing that you long for the most and that you want to see happen for you as well as for others, because structure always assists others. Systems that are put in place help you and help others. That is the outcome that is possible. So you've been given here your current state, which is a really difficult one. And I just want to acknowledge that. I am not saying, oh, but hey, there's this other stuff, just move past it. No, rest with it, feel it, and then understand that this question of reciprocity is one that bears an opportunity. It brings a mirror. It brings this, to bring it back around to the beginning, it brings a very grounded chance for you to feel connected to life, connected to the 3D life that you are so good at as an earth sign and so good at helping others to access and to feel as well. They can feel safe in your presence. And you may feel right now like, I can't even be safe for myself right now. How can I be safe for others? And yet people do feel safe in your presence because you are so connected to the earth. Rest in that connection, rest in that sense of continual loop. You can rest in that. All right, Waylighters, Capricorns, sending you so much love. And I will talk with you soon. I will be posting something about the coming eclipse, and so you can watch for that.